Okay, my name is Bill Whiting. I am the now AVP for Faculty Affairs. I came to the Office of Faculty Affairs 3 years ago, almost to the day. I was in faculty and kinesiology for about 18 years before that. And if you had asked me 5 or 6 years ago, do you ever want to go into administration, I would have said, what, are you crazy? I thought I was a lifetime faculty person, because being a faculty member is the best job in the world. You may not think so sometimes, but it is. But I got onto one of the university level committees, got to know some people. Whitney knows that game. Get to know somebody, they ask you, da-da-da, and said, hey, how would you like to? And I made the mistake of saying yes. About 3 years ago, I was Senior Director of Academic Personnel, and then Penny Jennings, some of you may have heard the name, retired this past August. I was named interim, and then as of about a week ago, they dropped the interim. So I'm there for at least another week or two. Anyway. The extension in our office will give you the important information up front. Our extension is 2962. If you have any questions, please call us. We have a great office staff, Michelle, Albert, and Ileana. They can answer a lot of your questions. They can answer some questions that I can't answer, but I'm always available too. They'll also be replacing me in my former position at some time, hopefully this spring. So we'll have one added person in the office. Know not yet who that may be. The purpose of today is to talk about PIFs. If you don't know already, CSUN is very rich with acronyms, as are most institutions. So as I'm going through, if something I say, because I use it on a daily basis, I may assume that you know it and you don't, please feel free to raise your hand and say, what's that? And stop me early. If you have questions as we're going along, feel free to interrupt me at any point. If my back is turned to you, throw something at me, get my attention somehow. To set the stage, and actually to give me a little bit of reference here, very quickly, if you could go around and just give me your name and your department real quickly. I will not remember them, but just to kind of see who's here.
Teresa Jefferson, and I'm the librarian.
Librarian, thank you.
Carol Bell's nurse.
Guess that.
Matthew Jackson, theater.
Sure, you can make English.
Back just in time.
How do we start?
Shire Wilson, Ed Second
Across the back row.
I'm Judy Shmuley,
Hi,
County
Judy.
Services. Here's a mentor, and to learn and to make sure that we learn.
I'm Ann, I'm from Counseling Center as well.
I'm Robert St. Pierre, the art department.
I'm Monica DeTrain, I'm the student assistant for faculty development.
Whitney.
I'm Daisy Lehman's faculty development, just to see if I did something right.
And how many of you on faculty are first-year faculty? Any second-year faculty? Umpteen-year faculty? You get past a certain number and you stop counting. You're here primarily for what we call the RTP procedures: retention, tenure, and promotion. I'm assuming everybody's goal is to get that magic land of the coin of the realm, tenure and promotion. To put it in context, the promotion and tenure rate at Northridge, I would say probably based on my experience, is upwards of 95% on schedule. So this is not an R1 institution where they say the lower percentage we keep, the better we are. Northridge hired you because you're good, we want to help you be even better, and to get tenure, we want you to be here for a long time. So that's the philosophy here, unlike some other institutions where it's bring them out for 6 years and then get rid of half of them. That's not the case here. I would also like, as I'm going through today, if you want to share any feelings, fears, anxieties that I may be able to address, and some of the other more experienced faculty here might address, because oftentimes those anxieties are unfounded. It's somebody told me, and now I believe it, and it may not even be true. One thing I'm guessing you've gotten relative to the RTP process is a lot of different opinions and conflicting information. Anybody gotten some conflicting information? Not yet? Okay, you're still first year.
I'm not sure if it's conflicting yet.
called your PIF. That is your professional information file. It took me 2 years to realize it wasn't the personnel information file or the personal information file, it's the professional information file. Don't worry, people mess those up all the time. You call it PIF, everybody knows what you're talking about. There's another file called the PAF. Provost likes to call him his ground schools, whatever animal of the day, PIF PAF. The PAF is your personnel action file. Okay, we're not going to talk much about the PAF today. Most of it's going to be about the PIF, because the PAF, the personnel action file, is the file that's held for tenure track faculty, typically in the dean's office. That's your official university personnel file. In that are things such as your appointment letter, student evaluations, peer class visit reports, any number of things as you go along. Eventually you may take a sabbatical, those reports will be in there. So that's more your official personnel type file. The PIF, on the other hand, is under the control of you. That's your file, that's what you prepare. When you go up for review, those of you who are in second year are under review right now, those who are first year, early in the fall semester, you'll start your first review cycle. At that point, your PIF and your PAF get merged, not physically merged, but they're kind of attached to each other, and that is, on some campuses, they call that a working PAF. We don't call it here at Northridge, but it's basically your PAF now includes the PIF. Anybody lost anything? My students, I check their eyes to see if they've glazed over yet.